So, yeah, essentially, I'm about to walk you all through the process I have for making thank you cards. So, essentially, right now, I'm just using digital assets that I've already created for months now. I'm working on a Negro League Collection that highlights the life of and legacy of Ken Griffey Jr. So yeah, this is like the yellow box era for the hat. So that's kind of where the jumping off point of like the yellow thank you card comes from. And I'm just super interested to see like where this kind of goes in the yellow box era. You can see we're introducing a new motif or character with our mascot. And so yeah, pretty much I'm just trying to figure out how to like place my words on here. And yeah, I'm just kind of going through that before I kind of realized like I have thank you cards that I already enjoy and like. So I just kind of am going back through all of the ones that I've had in the past. I see the Granny's House one. I think it's an absolute hit. So I go ahead and open that one. Just go ahead and just take the actual text from there. Save my current file, load this in there. And yeah, I just kind of start playing around with how I want to do the placement of everything. So right now, as a placeholder, I'm just kind of using a word about Black fatherhood or Black fathers. And so now I'm just kind of taking the words that I used in my pitch deck. So I make these decks for myself, and they're a place for me to kind of dump all my ideas about my collections into something organized. And so I think today, while I was reflecting, I realized that I kind of want to insert myself a little bit more. I realized people love the brand because of me and the words that I have to share. So I'm just here trying to go ahead and start to highlight that. So rather than coming up with some academic jargon, I've literally just taken the words I used in that pitch deck. Just the very, very just, language that isn't just super wordy and academic, and just using it here instead. So now I'm just kind of updating the text color, all that sort of thing. And just trying to get that placement right. I'm just really obsessed with, placement, that sort of thing. And so, yeah, just kind of remembering and referencing my old thank you card. So I'm starting to just load more stuff into the file. And so at this point, I have a really big saying of like, if you need to be able to see it through, and I literally mean that. So here I'm like trying to figure out whether a word about Black fathers looks better stacked or straight on. I think at this point, I decided it looks better straight on. So that's why you kind of see me working with it. I'm grabbing this other progression logo and putting it in here as well. And I'm just really doing this because, again, I'm not like being super brand heavy, but I do think it's important that like the logo kind of pops up. And I really like it because it has a little progression logo, but like with a baseball kind of going around it. And interestingly enough, coincidentally enough, actually, if you look up the Ken Griffey Jr. logo and then you look at that one, they actually kind of reference each other pretty well. But yeah, here I am again, just finding more assets to kind of throw into there. The Negro League is really important to me, so I really want that to be present here as well. So I kind of sampled the color, I put it up there. That one doesn't look good. I immediately recognize that, and so I switch over to this other one. I kind of do an image trace. I want to do a 3-color, but then I realized it's going to take too long, so I cancel. Go back to the 2-color or the single color. So you see how much faster that is. I get rid of the background, shrink it down a little bit, sample it, I'm like, that looks way better on there. However, like it just feels awkward. The two logos don't have a height match. So it just looks weird. And the single one by itself looks weird. But I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll come back to it. I go ahead, update my text. And I don't like that font. So I want to choose something different. I go with Droop, which is what I use for a lot of my sport ones. This font looks way better in all caps. So I go ahead, try to border fathers and then father and son duo. And I just think about anything and then it's stunned like my daddy, right? Straight from the pitch deck again. I just enjoy watching that back and seeing myself do it in real time. Because at this point, I'm essentially in my flow state. So again, here I'm trying to figure out whether it looks better stacked or not. But I think I had already told myself it looks better um, in single line. So I think when I realized that, I kind of shrink it down a little bit in size, and I'm just trying to get it to be perfectly aligned. So I kind of shrink it until it looks like it matches a little bit. Center it, bring it up, uh, and then yeah, I kind of just keep trying to play with that color to see what things pop. But for whatever reason, something just feels really, really off to me. And so, like, yeah, I try to see if it's because like I want to make it bold, but that's still wrong. And I realize it's because you can't really see that yellow. The yellow is just too abrasive to read on, and so I essentially kind of turn around and change the color to red. But then that red becomes really abrasive, so I kind of want something to kind of filter that. So I remember that I still want the Negro League logo in there somehow, so I bring it up make it huge. And then I go ahead and drop the opacity on there to kind of almost act as like a backdrop. So it's subtly kind of like letting you know what it is, but like, the Negro League Proletariat logo is already in there. So you don't need to see everything. Again, the testament of a logo is the ability to kind of see how much you can abstract it and people still recognize it. So yeah, you'll see this logo elsewhere. So it's no pressing matter for it to be, seen perfectly. I go ahead, keep on editing stuff, see that there's more stuff. I mean, space. So I'm playing with the placement of everything. And then, yes, I feel like something's off. So I go ahead and off camera, I start drawing a logo for myself. So again, I want to have my own touch of in progression or within progression. So I go ahead, drop my logo in there. Once again, immediately recognize that I want that color yellow to just be that little pop right there. So I go ahead and go ahead and make it pop right on there. I kind of turn it a little bit. And I want to make a dash, but I don't really feel like drawing one. So I just make one. And that's why I absolutely love Illustrator. I feel like I can do whatever in it. So that wasn't working. So I just went ahead, flipped it around, and then I combined the two things. And then ultimately, um, I just go ahead and flatten and straighten everything, and then I just go ahead and straight. Still feels a little off, so I straighten it out a little bit, and then yeah, that is essentially everything. I think I did go ahead and updated that stem like my daddy to be a different color. Never throw away any work, so that's why I went ahead and just pulled it off to the side and just got rid of that artboard. But yeah, this is what the front and the back would look like. I was gonna go ahead and like do a bunch of extra stuff because it's artboard. I don't need to do that, so this is what the final output looks like. Again, I changed stunning like my daddy to be that same yellow as Olu, just to break it up a little bit. And yeah, these are something I'm going to be doing. If you like it, enjoyed it, let me know. Maybe I can do some more if you find them helpful. But that's my process. Peace.